Hi, this is Coach Whit with Hornet Sports Network. I'm here with my first interview of the year, Coach Embrey. I'm here to ask a few questions, get a little sneak peek in the upcoming season, and have some of the philosophy behind the great coaching mind of Coach Embrey.
I don't know about great, but we'll see.
So, Coach, we'll go ahead and get it started. First thing I want to ask is, what sets our basketball program apart from others in the area?
I think for us, just in the last 3 years, just our work ethic that we have set as far as just a standard that we're just like, we're going to come in every day, we're going to show up and we're going to work and we're going to outwork you. And I think that's something that we really strive to do and are proud to say that, you know, we outwork everybody. We want to outwork our competition. And I also think this group, this program is really good about investing back in the community. You constantly see our basketball girls at junior Hornets or practicing with different age groups. You see them coming and watching all the different age groups I have coaching. We're running basically a Hornet program from second grade all the way through high school. And the high school players are fantastic about allowing those girls in the locker room, in their life, and I think that's really a blessing that these small young girls are seeing these high school girls and they want to be them and emulate them. And I love that these girls understand that that's their legacy that they're giving back. And so I would say we outwork you every single day, and then also just leaving a legacy of, you know, Hornet basketball and every, you know, little girls wanting to be a part of this program.
And Coach, this is your third year, right?
Third year here.
Third year. So my question is how do you get, kind of a subpart question, how do you get a program to buy into that will outwork you every day, buy into the community, and just, what is the things that you have to help implement to get that going?
You know, when I first was hired, we were coming off, I was at Summertown High School and I was coming off of a state runner-up finish. And so there was a lot of, you know, excitement and probably, I hate to say, like hype about, you know, me coming here. And so the girls were, you know, very, I guess, anxious and nervous because they saw a picture of me and they were like terrified, like, who is this woman? But then when I got here and they realized how important relationships are for me and how much I want to invest in them, they started saying, hey, wait a minute, this is a different kind of coaching philosophy, and we like this. We like how, you know, I'm really trying to incorporate, you know, a lounge area for the girls to come and hang out. We do team bonding stuff. We're constantly eating, playing pickleball. They stop by the house. I only live 3 minutes away, and so being convenient to them. You know, we've really built a relationship no matter what age you are, from top to bottom. And the girls know when you're genuine. I mean, I shouldn't even say girls. I think anyone knows when you're genuine about them and want to know about them. And so having those relationships and living it, I think has really made them say, you know, I just don't want to disappoint Coach Embrey. So I want to do whatever I can to strive to be the best version of myself, because I think I bring that out of them because I have that same expectation for myself.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That's good. Next question I got is, how do our coaches, so this coaching staff, prioritize the overall development, not just the athlete, but the student side? So student athletes both in on and off the court.
I had a parent meeting yesterday, and I was talking to the parents about the skills that these kids hopefully will have after leaving our program in discipline, showing up. And we talked about the difference between being sick and not feeling well. And so we want to teach kids that, yes, you still have to show up because people are counting on you. And so teaching them accountability is going to make them great people in the workplace when it's time for them to go to work. We also teach them about loving each other, communicating and working through different things. And so that all those things is going to help them in any relationship that they decide to have with their kids, their significant other at some point, workplace. Those are all skills that any sports team will teach you. you know, we have a character coach. Her name is Leah. Leah McElroy does a great job. She has her own, you know, little group me that her and the girls have separate. And so they can talk to her in ways that they may not feel as comfortable talking to me, where they may need extra love and care. And I'm not saying I don't give love and care, but I'm not just always warm and fuzzy.
Right.
And Leah is. And, you know, that I was attracted to having Leah on staff with us because of how she makes me feel. And I knew that would be a good, something good to have for the girls, a good resource for them to have. And so developing them, you know, with my toughness kind of mindset, and also the other side having Leah as our character coach, it's a really good balance.
So you said something that I kind of want to go into question 3 with, is you said, you know, help develop these skills like accountability, showing up, and, you know, being together as a team. How do those skills help on the court?
You know, something I learned from Coach Stidham, I had never heard it before until I got here, and he was so big on TPW, tough people win, and then he also was big on soft people lose.
Yep.
Those are his 2 things, and those have stuck with me. And so for us, teaching things that you can't really measure on the basketball court, but it helps you win. Touches. That's a huge thing for us. We count them. James Carver, he's our athletic trainer. He will break down the film and watch every time we touch each other. And there's a certain number that we're looking for that if we're not at or above it, then I'm kind of have an idea that there's something going on chemistry-wise that we need to address. Whether they're only thinking about themselves in that moment, but touches is a big thing that we monitor and watch, especially on the court. And that you don't have to have any skill to do that. We're constantly monitoring hustle plays. And so having those things that maybe not, you know, lead points, lead rebounds, they're just things that help you win. Create that mindset of we're going to be tougher than you, and tough people win.
That's really good stuff. I think it was like, what, Steve Nash that had over 150 touches in one game?
In one game. We're just trying to get 100.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he, by himself, is just constant.
I'd say he was pretty good one.
Yeah, I would say he was pretty good.
All right. Next question I got. So how does our basketball program contribute to the overall school spirit of sense of community?
I think these girls are really good about showing up for other sports. I know for football games, if there is something to dress up or travel, they're coming. I had several travel to the soccer state tournament. I have several that, you know, are going to travel to watch our girls run even track or cross country or whatever it may be. These girls are really good about going and supporting their friends because, I mean, they are their friends. And they want that same support when it comes to girls basketball. And it's really fun to watch the girls sports especially kind of unite and really support each other. Not saying that we don't love the boys, because we do, but it's just been fun watching, you know, the soccer girls come and support us go and support them. Volleyball, it's just you got a bunch of really good kids that all intermingle and they want to support each other. And I think that's something that our girls are really conscientious about, is really making sure they show up and be present for these other athletes.
Yeah, I mean, school spirit's huge, and I'm sure we'll be able to see it in the student section of how much is reciprocated, because that's what South Kitts is kind of known for as well, that people kind of go under the radar. Our student section used to be, and still is, pretty good around the area, so hopefully they show that love back.
I think they will, especially with our new district being Crockett County, Obion, Dyersburg, Dyer County. I think you'll have a lot of old rivalries that used to be there, and now we're back in that same district.
Right.
And so I know different, it's just when we were in Jackson, I don't think we had quite the rivalry like we do now with having some of those other teams back in our district again.
Yep. Next question I have is, what are some recent accomplishments or milestones achieved by our basketball program? Maybe if could be team, could be individual, that your average fan may not know, or that does know.
Well, you know, when I first got here, I asked the girls, you know, what are some things, some traditions that you guys had that you would want to keep? And one of them was the win columns, the win totals. And so we've kind of evolved that to, the person that gets to change that number is kind of our player of the game. And that, again, could be who was the best person that gave the most touches, who was the teammate on the bench that did what their job was on that game, who was the most set. It's not always the person who scores the most points. Right. So anyways, in my second year, we hit the 200 win column.
Nice.
And so that was a big accomplishment for them. And the other thing that this group really wants, and we still haven't quite accomplished yet, is a district championship, a region championship, and then go to the state tournament. That was something that they knew I had attained, and they wanted the same thing. So we hung up in our locker room a picture of the tunnel that you walk out onto the Murphy Center, and we hung it up at the beginning of the year and said, all right, this is tunnel vision.
Yep.
We want to walk up this stairwell, we want to walk up this ramp, and we want to be playing on that court. And so while we may not have got the district or the region yet, we did make it to state tournament. First team in school history to ever make it to the state tournament. Not only did we get to the state tournament, we won a game, so we were a Final Four. Mr. Rogers and Miss Harris and Mr. Dunn were both real gracious. They were very adamant about, we need a Final Four banner, and so you'll see a banner hanging in the rafters when you come to the games. There's also going to be a team picture that'll be in the lobby when you come to games. And so those two things, the 200 win and the Final Four, were huge milestones for this program, and I really think it kind of put the school on the map.
And I like what you said on the...
I shouldn't say school. The girls' basketball program. The school's already been on the map, excuse me.
The picture of the tunnel. I know, previous coaches in a lot of different programs, different schools, they said vision is a big thing.
Yes.
And I would especially say, to this generation and to the school, because the school's fairly new and we haven't been to some of these levels before. So my question to you is, how do you help buy into that vision of either getting to that next level or getting to, hey, we need to reach our potential? How do you sell that vision first? You already said the Murfreesboro Tunnel, huge. And what else?
I think instilling the hunger in these girls to want to compete at the highest level that they can possibly compete at. And I think some of that goes with how we schedule our games. We schedule the best so that we can compete against the best. And so now that mindset of, okay, if we can do this with the best teams, then there's nobody in front of us that we should be scared to play. And so really creating that idea of we are that team, we are that program. And the girls, they kind of got a little swag about it. Not saying that we... I don't want to pull an LSU. I don't know if anybody's watched LSU. They came out, won national championship, and they got beat right off the bat.
Right.
And I mean, that's humbling, and that's a reset. And I'm sure there'll be several reset moments in our season because it's so long. But really, just kind of fostering the idea of maintaining that we are that program. We have achieved, and we just want to keep achieving more. So now their goal again, though, is still we want that district championship. We want that region championship. If you ask Hallie and them, if you look at our banner in the gym, looking at that alone keeps their they say locked in. You saw us stacking it up. And I mean, that locks us in knowing that banner is still kind of blank. Mm-hmm. And there's some things that we want to achieve. My goal this year is I want to host a sectional game at home.
Right.
I would love to host a sectional game at home and let all of Medina be in this gym. Nothing would satisfy me more than that moment. And
that brings me back to a good point of you saying that, hey, you want to host a subsectional game. It kind of rolls into it a little bit. So what role does community involvement play in our basketball program, and how can a community member support our team?
Number one, just, come to the games. Nothing is more exciting than when we cut the lights out and they announce the names and you've got your crowd behind you cheering and it's so loud, the spotlight, and then when the lights go off and you see a gym packed of people ready to support and cheer you. So coming to the games is huge. When we did the state tournament, I put out a Facebook post. I was like, hey, if you feel led to donating, we need help, because people, you don't understand how much it really does cost for a state tournament run. The hotels, I know baseball is well aware.
Yes.
The state tournament, like the hotels, the food, just the traveling expenses of staying up there for several nights. I mean, it adds up quickly. And so when we asked for support, the community came through and basically covered our entire rooms for the week. And so it was huge having that stress alleviated off of us. The signs. We have blown that sky high with the outreach from the community wanting to buy signs and wanting to donate. And so that is a great way for your business to be seen, but also supporting us too. The Junior Hornets little camp that we run, or it's not camp, the league that we run, putting your kids in there so that we can, get to know you early, see you early. That's kind of where I started fostering relationships with my second, third, and fourth grade little girls. And so if you have desire to, coach, be involved in our Junior Hornets, we constantly need sponsors for that, referees, coaches, even if you don't have a kid and you want to coach. Just investing back in your own community. Those are some great ways that I would suggest for the community to give back that would help directly to us.
And that's one big thing that we see around sports. We're kind of a newer school, opened in 2009, and, building that community, building that, hey, give back to it is a really big thing. And so we encourage you to get plugged in where you can get plugged in. I promise we'll put you somewhere. So last couple questions, Coach. When talking to the people in the community, our fans, every team has a different identity from year to year. What should our fans expect watching these girls play? Not you can go identity, but what should they see when they see your girls play this year?
I think it's kind of, you're talking to different people in the coaching world who have said things about, Embrey style teams. And it's kind of, some people say they take on the personality of their head coach, and that may be true, but for the most part, you're always going to see us do things the right way as much as we can in situations. There are going to be times where the girls make poor decisions and we have to talk from there, but they're going to play basketball hard-nosed. They're going to be tough. They're going to do anything they can fundamentally. And so I would say for the most part for our teams, we're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. Adding freshman Jade Reed, she's a monster. She is going to be a name that people across the state will be like, where did this kid come from? And then bringing back someone like Hallie Allen, who's a veteran, to really kind of help stabilize losing the 3 seniors that we lost, because we're starting 4 new people. Right. Faith, another returner, she tore her ACL this summer. And so Hallie has done a great job of stabilizing a sophomore point guard, a junior guard, a freshman post, and then Natalie Lewis as a senior shooter. But I would say you're going to see, like I said, we're going to be tough. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to be disciplined. We're going to be fundamental. And you're going to see a team that enjoys playing together. They have really good chemistry. A team that's always looking to set their teammates up and put them in the best possible position to be successful, whether that's scoring or on the defensive end. It's a fun group. It's different than last year's group, but it's a fun group, a young group. And so there's probably going to be some growing pains. With the sophomore point guard, I can promise there's going to be some growing pains throughout the season, but that's one great thing that our season is long. Right. And so it gives us plenty of time to adjust and keep getting better.
Sweet. We're excited to see them. And last 2 questions, Coach.
Oh, no.
These are fun questions.
Okay.
All right, so 1, if you could meet any coach, present or in the past, that's ever lived, who would you want to meet? And 2, what would be the first question you would ask them?
That's tough because Bobby Knight just died, and so I did get to see him one time, but I never met him. He coached in such a different era. Kim Mulkey is my idol. I love her. I love her antics. I love everything about her. But if I had to really meet one person and talk to him, it'd probably be Gino at UConn. Because how in the world do you convince people to go to where y'all are at located in Yukon, go
Right.
through the snow, go through all the elements, and kick everybody's rear ends for about a decade.
Yep.
Like, I would love to know how he recruited these kids and got them to buy into their roles and what they needed to do to be as successful as they were. Like, I'd probably love to meet Gino.
That's a good one. My personal favorite would be Pat Summit, but
I know.
yeah, she's on the list.
She's on the list.
She's on the list.
She is on the list.
Gino's will probably go down as one of the best coaches of all time.
Of all time.
And so,
I mean, you got him and Pat, like that 90s, early 2000s runs when they were just battling it out. I would love to have been in the room to figure out what really happened between the two to make them, just the heatedness of it. And it may not have been anything. It could just be the competitive. You don't have two people that competitive in what they do and get beat.
Yeah.
Probably don't like each other because I don't like losing.
Right. Maybe some little jabs here and there.
It might be. I would love to know. Anyways.
Well, this is Hornet Sports Network. We appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, and looking forward to a great season.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, guys.